Do you know how good you have it right now, Rams fans? I mean, seriously, your team goes to London the day before, they give BTA to the Jaguars, your wide receiver scored 3 times, your defense is all mean to opposing quarterbacks, your head coach is handsome as hell. Oh, and let's not forget, your franchise quarterback not only just threw 5 touchdowns, but he leads the league in touchdowns through 7 weeks, is being talked about as an MVP frontrunner for the first time, what it seems like in his underrated 17-year career. And that's why he is the topic of this week's All-22 film analysis video. John Matthew Stafford, QB1, Glock 9. Today we're going to try to learn together what's clicking for him in this offense and what's making his play so damn special so far in 2025, right after this Week 7 sound of the game.
And Stafford's going to throw for it. And he's got himself a receiver. And it is a touchdown. Terrence Ferguson, the second rookie to catch a touchdown pass from Stafford today.
Hello, ladies and gentle lads. This is the First and Tuna podcast. If you're new here, I'm Tuna. We cover all things Rams and heavy NFL related content. Once every single week, we dive into the All-22 film. What is All-22? It's just a different camera angles that you don't normally see on the regular broadcast when you're watching the game on Sunday. Simple as that. Try to do my little John Madden, drawing some plays. We try to learn some stuff together. If you're new here, like I said, if you have not already, helps us out immensely if you subscribe to the channel, follow us on the socials you see here at the bottom of the screen. It helps us as independents very greatly. Now, before we start and dive into the film, I do have a small rant. Like, not really a rant, but a tangent. Because I want to be on record saying this. Now, since week 3, I've been calling for Matthew Stafford to be not just an MVP candidate, like in the conversations. He should be at the top of most people's lists. Like, I get it. Not a lot of people watch Matthew Stafford. That's been a symptom of his 17-year career, especially when he was in Detroit. But right now, he's near the top in nearly every statistical category in the NFL. But it isn't just the stats. When you watch the film, compare it to other quarterbacks in the NFL, like even the top ones, there isn't anyone playing with the same level of consistency and control and manipulation of defenses that Matthew Stafford's playing with right now. And it makes sense. In his 17 years playing, he's seen 17 years of hundreds of games and thousands of plays worth of defenses, tricks, blitzes, coverages, situations. That all leads me to this thought. Rams fans, if you think you enjoy Stafford and you're a huge fan of his, I'm here to tell you you're not a fan big enough. Like, you're not appreciating him enough. And I'm not just being a stan, even though I am. I'm urging you to literally enjoy and take in these games. Watching him play, it's so rare when you get a veteran quarterback playing this long to be in his element like this in year 17, manipulating defenses, completing passes with arm angles that few other people walking on this planet right now could successfully complete. He's doing it on a weekly basis, and to top it off, the entire season, he'll be climbing up top 10 lists like he already has in categories like all-time career yards, touchdowns, game-winning drives. He is a literal walking Hall of Famer. And when his time is ultimately done in this league, whenever that is, this season or this offseason, 3 more years from now, we're going to look back at seasons like 2025, like this one, and go, man, I really wish I could see Stafford play one more time. Like, I miss watching quarterbacks like him. So I'm giving you the heads up right now. You'll be saying that in a few years, so take it in now. Enjoy watching one of the last remaining gunslingers of his generation continue to dominate the game we love. Now, on to the film. Stafford's 5 touchdowns not only were a London game record, but it also marks the 5th time in his career where he has thrown for 5 scores. He was incredibly efficient. What we're going to be paying attention to in this film breakdown is not only his completions and the successes he had, but his processing based on what the defense is showing him as best to our ability. So, without further ado, let's watch some Matthew Stafford film. I want to start off with something really, really good. So we're going to jump to the first touchdown off the opening drive for the Rams. Shout out rookie KONATA Mumfield, man. This lad down here, late round pick out of Pittsburgh, his first scoring touchdown of the day. Let's run it, and then we'll break it down. Play action, little pop. Actually, a no-looker as well that you're going to see from the end zone cam. nothing crazy about this concept. The only thing crazy is the anticipation that Stafford throws with here that you're not going to get because it's unstructured. You can't really coach this. This is just from experience, like we were just ranting about, like him just knowing, yeah, I can make that throw. Like worst thing that's going to happen is the incompletion. The concept here, it's going to be your standard play action of Kyren Williams in the backfield here. This is Ferguson. He's going to run out in the flat here off the motion. Higbee is going to be going backside. And then I believe this is Davis Allen's going to be coming on the little crossing route here. Clean it up a little bit. And then KONATA is going to run kind of like he's going to sell, mess with the corner, and then go post here in the back. The drag route here, I think, is what really makes the play. It puts the safety in a bind. Originally, when I watched this, I thought that was just like a cover zero, no safety help. But as the play develops, it's this safety right here that really Stafford keys in on. The play develops. He's kind of sitting here, deep zone, deep help. He reacts. He's just watching Stafford's eyes. And Stafford does this like on a weekly basis now. Helps his receivers get open by being manipulative with where his head is looking. So right now, he looks like he's beaming this direction, either going to the flat or hinting that KONATA may be going to the corner instead, which is why he gives a little shimmy like he does. And that's why this guy's flat-footed, because he thought he was going to go outside. Now, the corner also is correctly assuming that he should have safety help inside. So that way, even if he does give up the inside as he does, his lad back here should be helping. But because Stafford is playing with his eyes down here, he's making this safety creep, thinking he's going to help out underneath this route here or be in place to potentially help this guy in the corner. He starts creeping down. Stafford's throwing the ball now. Like, look right here. Ball's thrown. Like, the ball is now in the air. It's going to land out here. KONATA's not even, like, remotely open. He just is having utmost faith that he's going to get there, and he does. Reaction time. Safety is nowhere to be found whatsoever. Check out the end zone cam on this one. I wish they could keep the celebrations in the recording. Yeah, this is the safety that we're watching down here. You can clearly see his eyes are somewhere out here. So that's why this safety is creeping. He's locked in on Stafford. That's why he's starting to creep that way. And even when he turns his head to at least get KONATA in his vision, about right here, he's staring like roughly this way. Ball is going back in the end zone. It's just the anticipation, man. And then Stafford gets hit and then doesn't even turn around. I think he's watching the score, the board on the opposite end. He looks up. He didn't even see it score. Yeah, that's fucking awesome, man. Just an incredible anticipation by Stafford. That's something that I keep trying to press and instill in y'all of, like, you can't coach that. That's 17 years worth of experience playing out in the right way. And this is a pass interference there. We'll get to this play later, but yeah, I just want to start that off with you guys. So that was the end of the first drive, but I do want to look at how the Rams got there. I know a lot is being talked about the Rams' usage of 13 personnel. They do get into that some, but they didn't start that way. They actually came out in 13 personnel. So here we go. 2nd and 10, first quarter. Might be wrong. They might have been 13 personnel in the first play. Let's look. Let's see if I was wrong. All right, we're taking a detour here, guys. And nope, their first play was 13 personnel, so I wasn't completely wrong, even though I was guessing. Sorry about that. All right, the actual first play. This is going to be a check down, little dump off to Parkinson. Parkinson picks up 8 on 2nd and 10 here. It's a very, like, haphazard, like, I guess, quote-unquote boring play. But I do want to look at how Stafford is reacting in the pocket. He hasn't been sacked a lot this season. It goes to give credit to the offensive line, of course. But a lot has to be said about his pocket awareness. I think with less experienced quarterbacks, you're going to get a lot more sacks out of this offense, especially waiting for these longer developing routes to come open. You're like, what the fuck are you talking about? So what is this concept we're even running here? Boom. Looks like they're trying to get like a cover 3 beater. Atwell's going to run deep, kind of like a corner, kind of round it out. Whittington's probably running a love of the game route, trying to just pull the safety off. Adams does kind of flash like a curl inside hook. And you got some checkdowns here between Kyren. And then eventually Parkinson kind of leaks out here as well. Meanwhile, the Jaguars, what do they run? Looks like they're running like an inverted 3. Or inverted 2, sorry. It comes off looking like maybe this is a cover 3 because such big, like just so much depth they're giving the wide receivers. So naturally you may think like, okay, maybe he's got deep. He's got a deep half or quarter, and he might be deep. A lot of guys covering underneath. What they roll to, and like you can't trick the vet. This guy's actually going to drop down into coverage. He's got deep. He's got deep. And I think this guy is going to run deep middle. Kind of cover up that cover 2. There you go. Deep half. Like underneath. A lot of guys under here. So very deep cover 2. So instead of waiting, because I feel like Stafford might have thought, hey, I got some pressure coming here in the middle. Let me dump it off since they're playing so far off. Yeah, let me get it to my guy here. Let him just run. Just get upfield, pick up 8 yards. And there's really nothing crazy from the cam here on this one. You can see the protection. Pretty decent protection. For the end zone cam, it looks a lot closer. But by the time he's releasing the ball, deciding to release, he's got some room here. But I did notice like he was being pretty cautious. Like, why take a risk of getting hit on a really basic play? That's at least my opinion. Let's jump to the next play. So I'm not one to say, to discredit someone's great day, just saying, oh, it's only because the other team played poorly. But it does play into it a little bit. The Jaguars secondary was a mess completely last Sunday. Looking at this play, this is the next play that we just watched. 3rd and 2. Really simple, like out route. But this is why I love breaking down McVay's offense, is because you see future things get set up, even on missed opportunities. Here is a huge missed opportunity. This rub route down at the bottom works to perfection. Tutu's motion kind of makes it really jumbled here in the middle. Like he kind of gets between Whittington and Higbee. Whittington is just going to run a rub route. Like he's just going to kind of get to the spot and occupy some defenders as best as he can. Like really as close to illegal blocking as you can get. Every NFL team does this, and I hate it, but they are following the rules. So he's up here getting messy. Higbee does run his out. Tutu Atwell is going to be running this crosser. The missed opportunity not only is Tutu Atwell, because he does come open in the middle. I want you to watch the top, though. Devontae's release, and then inside route here, combined with Williams kind of stacking behind him and then turning upfield. Kyren's wide open for a touchdown. At least that's what I think based on the safety. Yeah, he's wide open. If we look this spot here, Stafford decides, let's just pick up the first down. And that's going to happen. No quarterback's perfect. But I would like to see him like, hey, man, you're calling some of these plays. You can take a shot. But, does pick up the first down. You see Kyren reacting up here. So if he had held it for a second, and I'm pretty sure Stafford can manipulate this safety. Maybe for whatever reason he thought dropping back. At this point, hey, this is scratched because he doesn't feel he's moved this safety enough. He's pretty solid here. It's only when he turns his shoulder now. Even then he's winding up. This safety still has not moved. I'm kind of discrediting myself here. But the fact that Devontae's route knocks down Kyren's defender, or knocks down his own defender. They're going to come back to this stuff, but it's fun watching film. You get to kind of see what gets uncovered when you're watching. The action was pretty good too, I think. Let's watch this. Motion. Clean pocket. You gotta punch my lad for it. Don't punch my Higbee. But yeah, easy little check down. I just wanted to point out, hey, they're not perfect. They did miss some stuff, in my opinion. Ooh, and this is where we start to see it. They start busting out 13 personnel. Boom. 13P, baby. 13P. Sean is here in 2025. What is 13 personnel? I know we talk about it every single week, but if you're new here, we love breaking down the personnel changes. So with McVay, you're going to get one of three things. You're going to get 11 personnel. Bing, bing. You're going to get 11. You're going to get 12, and you're going to get 13. These all matter because it changes the defense. It changes what they think you're going to do. Primarily this season, what McVay has run is a lot of 11. 11 is one tight end and one running back. 1 and 1 makes 11, which means 3 wide receivers. 12 is 2 tight ends and 1 running back. 1 running back, 2 tight ends, 12, which leaves 2 wide receivers. And then 13, figure it out, do the math, 3 tight ends, 1 RB, and that leaves you down with 1 wide receiver, which we have here. The reason why it's fun to see McVay doing this is because having those heavier sets, since tight ends are bigger, it should allow for a stronger run game. And then mix in with the fact, like, this is what they drafted Terrence Ferguson for, to split him out wide. Because even though you're in 13, you can split this guy out wide. He's athletic enough to be a wide receiver, and we're going to see that play in to a touchdown later in the game. But for now, let's just look at what they could do on this play. For protection, little check down. This is another instance, the same as the last one, where I feel like Stafford missed an opportunity here. So someone's going to come open here. It's going to be really good protection. You've got play action here with Kyren. Ferguson's going to kind of run somewhat of an in here. KONATA, I think this is the love of the game route. He's kind of plays with them a little bit and goes to a post. Who comes open? I think it's a missed opportunity is Higbee here. Higbee's going to be running about a 12-yard corner, 12-yard out. Who he hits is Davis Allen on the little check down here. So watch Higbee. Higbee's route's right here. I think Stafford has enough time where he should have thrown the out. What I think this is, anything that I'm saying to like defend Stafford, by the way, but there's no like, oh, I'm making an excuse for him. I'm trying to logically figure out, like, okay, what was he thinking? Like, what would be the reason for this? In my limited capacity. No, I have no NFL experience. No, I don't have coaching experience to that extent. I played D2 ball a little bit, and I played junior college, like quarterback. So it's like I am trying my best here as an internet nerd. But yeah, get back to it. Back here, what we got? Yeah. I think he maybe felt he didn't have time. At the time of his release, what's his internal clock sounded like? I mean, yeah, play action. So one thing I try to remind myself, like I always forget, is the internal clock doesn't start when he finishes the play action on the drop. Like for a lot of people, it's like, okay, now he's dropping, so the clock starts. No, a lot is happening while the quarterback's back is turned on a play action. Like here, it's something we see every day, but we don't think of. Think how incredible it is for quarterbacks to have to completely turn their back to a defense for like a second and then turn around and be like, okay, what's happening behind me? You have zero idea. You're having to sense like, hey, is pressure coming or not? And I think in this instance, because of how and where Stafford stepped up right here, kind of to the left here. Yeah, he's hitching towards the throw. And I think he maybe wanted something deeper. But him not being able to see what's happening on his right side, like not knowing is somebody blitzing right here. Did Kyren actually pick up his guy? Did Kyren fail? Just get rid of the ball now. Why anticipate and wait? Because especially with a throw like that, you're completely open, like and unprotected. Getting hit right here is a forced fumble, most likely. But yeah, just get rid of it. You're gonna pick up a few yards. Yeah, we're spending a lot of time on a really simple play, but I just wanted to set the grounds for how we watch Matthew Stafford film today. And again, to their credit, though, they do come back and hit this route a little bit later in the game. I think a little sooner than we think. Another cool thing about Matthew Stafford, and a lot of people talk about, is he's a better thrower on the run than people give him credit for. I won't lie, when I watched this play live, I thought this was going to be an interception. I 1000% thought it was going to be one. All right, what do we get here? This is a 2nd and 7. This is still the first drive. They pick up the first down here. It's about a 9-yard pass. What are we getting? So Higbee off the play action is going to be running this 9-yard drag route. KONATA is on the backside here. One of these two tight ends, I believe, is running somewhat of a corner route, dragging them out there. And Davis Allen goes to the flat. Yep. So very simple, basic play action concept. Stock block, release. Davis Allen's going to work, set out to the corner. They're coming across here. His read is just very like, hey, who's not covered? I don't know how to designate what your quarterback read is on a play action in the NFL, but it's pretty simple. Like, who's got leverage on their guy? Clearly, Higbee has the leverage. The problem is, from Stafford's point of view, when he's throwing the ball, got a guy right in his grill. It's a hard throw. It's still 20. So based on where he is, too, it's like a 20-yard throw off your back foot. And I'm glad he didn't throw. I don't know who's pump faking. I feel like it was more, he probably wanted to dump it out to Davis Allen based on the pressure, but he can tell he's not ready. Here, not ready. Yeah, because that looked like a hesitation more than a intentional pump fake. Boom. Sees his guy. All right, fuck it. I could throw it down there because he's open. Like, this guy's back is turned. He's running that way. You got separation here. Higbee's running straight across flat. If he's drifting upfield, that's definitely going to be an interception because that thing kind of hangs for a while. Boom. Nice catch, too. It goes to show you, like, there was a good amount of rain. Guys were sliding and slipping more than people were paying attention to. So you have a lot of options with Matthew Stafford at quarterback. So here we are. This is the first trip in the red zone. This ends up being an incompletion. This is 3rd and 3. The miss is on Stafford. He didn't step through on his throw. Here, I'll run you here. Throws a slant. Doesn't step up. His release point is sooner than he would have liked. Trying to avoid hitting his hand on Alaric Jackson and the pass rusher here. So it sails on Davante Adams. What we do see out of this, though, is what McVay is able to call and willing to call because he has Stafford at quarterback. So kind of got 3 different options here on what to beat. If it's man, yeah, I'm going to trust Davante Adams to beat his guy, run a slant, flatten it out if he needs to. He's going to run it enough. I just got to hit him in the chest for a first down. Like, that's almost like the check down option. That's the safety blanket. You also have Tutu Atwell and Jordan Whittington running a high-low-ish concept. Maybe trying to, okay, can we beat one of these inside guys? Can we play with the safety and make him commit to one or the other? So you have that option there. And then you have a quick, like another man beater, another leverage beater, in case, let's say this guy wasn't lined up here. Let's say he's lined up more inside for whatever reason. That would leave one man covering 2 down at the bottom. And what you're going to see is Ferguson run like a curl, and Williams is going to run a little bubble as a quick bubble option if needed. So that way, if there was no one here, you can check down a little bubble and just let Williams kind of run outside. But they cover it pretty well, so you're not going to go there. He doesn't like the pre-snap look of what's going on here. So it looks like man. So where are we going? We're going to Adams. This is why you brought Davante Adams in. But the throw is high, like I said, and I want to show you the end zone cam because you can see it a little bit better. And as a release, you see the action happening there at his feet. Yeah, he's an NFL guy, and I'm going to tell you, like, it's also not fun potentially having these guys right here land on you, or having your hand hit the top of someone's helmet. So it's unfortunate. Missed throw there, but they end up, obviously converting next play. So, yep. Very next play. This is 4th and 3, 4th down conversion. We can talk about on a later video on why do they even go for it. Does it have a little bit to do with the Josh Carty situation? Do they not trust the kicking? I think it's more momentum. I think it's a dedication of like, hey, we need to go score a fucking touchdown on the opening drive. And I'm happy they did this. Another simple play, but I'm going to glaze the hell out of Stafford here. Just giving what the defense allows you to have. Like taking what the defense gives you. Sorry. I do love seeing like a stick knot option up here top. Hey, wide receivers is one of my favorite routes, man. Like a stick concept is like a curl but to the outside, like a hitch but turning outside. Stick knot is where you run that little fake and then go upfield. Love that. Whittington's got like this out and in, like a whip route. Adams just has a goal line fade. Ferguson down here has your out. What Williams does and how he gets open, because the Jacksonville Jaguars are bringing a blitz here. So, hey, even if this is the man up on Kyren, if Kyren just chips and releases, there's no one here to cover him. And we only need 3 yards. But recognizes the blitz. Oh, you're not going to pick him up. Too bad. Throwing it to Williams. Phenomenal block by Ferguson too, man. Out here, doesn't get a penalty. Just pushes him down. Now, dry grass might be a touchdown for Williams. Yeah, he's becoming a better option out of the backfield in recent weeks. Off the back foot, too. In the rain. Good job not missing what should be a layup of a pass. So, when it comes to the red zone offense and them scoring 5 touchdowns, 4 of them being in the red zone, 3 to Devontae Adams, I think a little bit was the game plan coming in. And for whatever reason, whatever the Jaguars are showing on defense, matching up against the Rams and McVay's run concept, like running duo, what is duo? To my best understanding, McVay's duo system is more about man blocking. So it's more of like a man blocking concept than it is like zone or gap blocking. Zone is like, hey, my job as Kevin Dotson here is, doesn't matter who is in this area, I'm going to pick up this zone. Kind of like defense. Somebody comes into my zone, that's my responsibility, and they have rules for that. Gap is similar, where it's like, hey, this is my gap here. I'm responsible for picking up whoever's here. Rather than man, and I hope I'm explaining this the right way, man is like, hey, when we come out, Dotson, this is your guy no matter what. Get up there and get him, but you're going to work a double team up to that part. That's the way I best understand it. It's the end result is the same. It's how you get there. Like the equation is just slightly different, if that makes sense. Anyone who can explain it better to me, hey, let's do an O-line episode next week. Like hop on and help me out. But one thing that's the problem here, when you do that, and when you face a front like the Jaguars came out in, is you're going to have guys unaccounted for, and that is going to happen in different concepts. But I think McVay is running into that problem more often in the red zone. Here, you're going to get Davis Allen come across. You're leaving this guy unaccounted for. So if an edge player like this just dedicates himself to crashing right behind the line and takes a good angle, you're going to get tackles behind the backfield like this. And mixed with, looks like Coleman Shelton missed his block as well. Yeah, that's rough. Take a look right here in the middle. Coleman Shelton is going to try to, he's reaching to try to get to 52, this shoulder here. 52 takes a leap inside. So that, his angle mixed with Shelton overcommitting, you're going to let 52 just get into the backfield really easily. And I don't think Dotson helps him at all. I would imagine, and I would like to see Dotson put a hand here, like a hand check, no matter what. So that way Shelton doesn't have to just lunge like this. Like, he's leaned way too far over. He does not have good leverage. That's why he's whiffing like this and falling forward. And he's lucky he doesn't get a holding penalty called right there too. So when Kyren has been stuffed at the goal line or in the red zone, I do think it is a testament more to the system. mixed with some poor performance, like, hey, you missed a block here. That's going to happen. But I do think it puts the players in a bad position leverage-wise. It seems to be the tendency here. But like I said, anybody who's got O-line experience, hey, come holler at me. The next play from that drive is the KONATA Mumfield touchdown. So we went over that the very first play. So I'm not going to rehash that again, but yeah, he scored. Go back to our first play that we covered. Very next drive, though, the comeback out in 11 personnel. I love this play. Or there's just one, it's Stafford making a great play. But then also great hands by Parkinson and a great block by Whittington. And I'm going to show you that in a second. 1st and 10. This ends up being a 23-yard roll out left, throw to Parkinson. So what do we got here? Doesn't really matter what Adams is running. You got Stafford running a bootleg this way. Whittington on his motion, he started out here. He's motioning in. What he ends up doing is he's going to crash. He's going to help. I believe this is Josh Hines Allen. Yeah. That is Pro Bowler, and I believe All-Pro. Can't remember if he made it All-Pro. Defensive end, Josh Hines Allen, that Whittington is going to ride and keep out of Stafford's lap. Watch this. Watch this block that Whittington puts on. It's not a pancake. It's not like a highlight block, but it's enough to redirect him because he has a free run. Here, we'll go to the end zone cam. If Whittington doesn't touch him, Stafford's getting sacked, if not worse, for like negative 10 yards. So here's Allen here. Whittington's going to come off this side and just get in his way. Right here, he can kind of tell what's going on. Yeah, at this point, right here, he's dedicated himself to Stafford. And Stafford's not fast enough to escape that if that's the case. Whittington is able to get in front of this shoulder here to avoid any holding or blocking the back call. And just does enough. Here you go. See? Hands in the chest right there. Pushes him. Just a small redirect. Let Stafford get outside. What a throw. Dude, I love this so much. Want to run it one more time here just because it is a very good play. And it's a great catch by Parkinson too. Like, for one, Stafford is able to hang the ball up enough to not just be a line drive because the defender is faster than a tight end than Parkinson, and he kind of gets in good position up here. But because Stafford arcs it over the top for him and Parkinson late hands it, the defender didn't even have a chance to react to it. Yeah, that's baller. Really cool seeing the utilization of all the tight ends on a play like this. So again, we're going to be glazing Stafford's anticipation, especially when it comes to throwing to a fellow veteran like Davante Adams. Here, play action to Kyren Williams. Kyren, after the play action, is going to check the block and then release down here in the flat. Atwell's just kind of got a really lazy like stop route up here. Whittington is motioning. He's going to stop in the flat. And Davante Adams is going to have about a 10 to 12 yard out route. We're going to pause it right as Stafford's throwing because I want you to see what it looks like to throw with anticipation to a spot on the field. This is why rookie quarterbacks take a while to acclimate into the NFL, and that's why veterans typically do a better job running NFL offenses. So right, he's deciding to throw the ball right here. Adams has barely started his break. Like, to say he's throwing the ball as he's breaking is being very conservative. So here's the windup. Like, here he's deciding to throw. I paused it as his arm is starting to move. Like, you're starting the throwing motion here at Stafford. Davante Adams has not cut yet. His foot is not planted. Cutting here on the 20 and breaking outside. Stafford is throwing to this spot on the field with enough velocity to not hang the ball up because you do have a cover 2-ish corner here underneath. And you have this guy back here hovering over top. So you can't hang the ball up and allow them to converge on the pass. But you also got to, not just fire it in there because you have to give him time to turn his head around and actually catch the ball. And it's just perfect. If anything, it's kind of late, if anything, because of how quickly Davante Adams gets out of his break. So one more time. Boom. for an easy 15 yards. Like being able to make that play look easy is crazy. That's a simple play. It's a simple out route in the NFL. I think I just am really a big fan of when it comes to timing and anticipation between NFL quarterbacks. It's really fun. And I mistake. That was Blake Corum, not Kyren Williams in the backfield. Sorry about that. And good protection too. The Jaguars only bring 3. So the fact that they only bring 3 and Stafford can sit there and just quickly anticipate, like, okay, they have 8 in coverage. Here's a soft spot. Getting it to my guy. Wide open. Like I said, man, the Jacksonville defense was really struggling. And then this is a great rep out here by Alaric. 44, is that Walker? Yeah, Trayvon Walker, very athletic, edge rusher. Tries a club move on Jackson and tries a speed rush to the outside. Jackson just beats him. That's great. All around good rep. This is what you like to see out of the offense, man. One more time, giving Stafford credit for throwing on the run. And I got to highlight our boy, friend of the show, Xavier Smith. He's going to be running a speed out here. He's going to get the ball. Adams has got inside release corner, pull defenses off. Whittington is going to come back across here on a drag route. He's actually open too. But I do like that one, Xavier Smith getting involved. I also like the accuracy thrown on the run to, I think, Xavier Smith, who is sprinting. So here at this point, boom. He makes his break right here. He has full speed. Full speed, go get the hell open, outrunning the linebacker. And he does. And you know what, man? How many times do we see in the NFL? Like, I don't want to say like, oh, he sacrificed the potential touchdown for a check down. I mean, looking at this film now, there's no one else out here. This is the closest perimeter defender. Wet conditions or even dry conditions. How many times do we see missed tackles on something like this? An arm tackle and the wide receiver break through and he's walking in for a touchdown. A great tackle. A credit to number 2. That is, who's that? Not even Mark. Oh, there we go. Jordan Lewis. I know Jordan Lewis has been having a pretty good year. He's a reliable safety there, or DB. Yeah, great job there. Okay, so here we are again. You know, they're going to score on the next play after this one. But even though they pick up 4 yards, this is more just relentlessness by Blake Corum than it is like an effective blocking scheme here. We're going to get a motion by Jordan Whittington. He's going to help seal the edge. Parkinson's going to take on this guy here. I think Jackson goes up to linebacker. Yeah. Jackson's going to stagger step if he needs to help this guy. He needs to help Avila. But his job is to get up to the linebacker. Got one-on-one. Shelton's going to try one-on-one here. And then Dotson's going to help seal this here. Along with McClendon. This is set up where if they can hold their stuff, I think this is meant to be like a cutback into here. And you're going to see what I'm talking about. Here's the handoff. And naturally you would think like there's a lane here. There's supposed to be a lane built right here. But it gets closed up real quickly. And that does go to speak to the Jaguars defensive line. You have to give them credit. Eric Armstead is right here. You have a really big Austin Johnson right here as well. Bowman Shelton, not the strongest center in the league. He gets stonewalled by Johnson. Johnson wins this rep. Like if you're watching this, his feet are landing in the dirt. He's not moving. He's controlling. Like he has control of Shelton right here. And what I mean by that, like if you're ever watching somebody break down film like this, like who controls his opponent is he got his hands inside the shoulder pads in a legal area, arms somewhat extended. He has the dominant posture here. You see Shelton kind of leaned up. He's standing straight up. He has zero leverage. Like no matter where Blake Corum goes, left or right, this guy is gonna shred or shed Shelton, get him out of the way, and make the tackle. So you see how he moved him there? He's gonna move Shelton this way, and he's gonna try to collapse this gap here. Right there. Even Dotson and McClendon on a double team, they don't move this guy. They don't really move him. It's messy. They didn't get a lot of drive. And this goes back to the scheme. For whatever reason, I just feel like the duo system doesn't move mountains like it should, like a gap or a zone would. I get it. Kyren and Blake are both really good at running in this system, but it's just not my favorite, per se. One more time. They get 4 yards. Like, don't get me wrong. It's 2nd and 1. They pick up the 4 yards. It's very cool, but it's not moving bodies like you really anticipate them to. But we can go to the next play because this is a touchdown to Davante Adams. Going to lead right into it. And so one thing that I don't think anyone's really talking about is the fact that this is not a called play. This is not a called pass play. This is supposed to be a run. This is a silent check. I believe based on, I don't know what their trigger is or their tell. Or if it isn't, or if designed to sell run, I then even more credit to McVay. Because my naked eye, my stupidity not knowing anything outside, everyone except, like, now the 9 players in the offense except for Stafford and Adams all operate like this is a run play. Watch how they block. Like, there's no step back and protection. From the motion of Higbee to how they're somewhat trying to get upfield, to even Blake Corum stepping and then kind of laxing off, realizing, oh, he's not passing it. Yeah, I think this might be just a silent check of something like, hey, if they come out in this look and it's man, I'm just going to throw you the ball. Try to get open. And he does. And it's a perfect placement. We'll talk about the placement in a second. Anybody, comment below what you think. Anybody who's watched film before knows how these operate. I don't know what the rule is because I get really confused on the ineligible receiver downfield, because you do run the risk of that happening, of like blocking downfield or an ineligible downfield when you do this. But I don't know, man. This seems like it might have been a check because these guys are trying to drive. This is clearly a run step. This is a run fill. The only thing that gives me pause is Jackson's not getting upfield. Like, it seems like a very hesitant, like, if it is a play call, this is designed this way, it is designed of like, hey, yeah, you're going to run block, but you're going to half-ass run block. And my reasoning for doubting my original thought of, hey, this is not a designed pass, is because you can't just pass block on this, even if this is a called design pass, because stepping back and pass protection, you run the risk, especially with 2 guys over the center, of Shelton getting bull rushed right into Stafford, who's not dropping back fully. He's only taking 1 step. That is very dangerous. That's dangerous to get everyone tangled up here. And I can't tell if Shelton's actually run blocking and falling, or if that's his way of just getting the fuck out of the way. But he whiffs. Like, he whiffs badly right here on 52. That bothers me a lot. An imperfect placement. I'm going to go back to the side cam because I want you to look at the placement on the ball. So a lot of analysts talk about the goal line fade is dead. It's a very low percentage play. The only person who could really do it is Calvin Johnson, because he was so incredibly large and big and strong and just talented. The placement here, it's got to be 1 of 2 places, in my opinion. Like, if you don't have a Calvin Johnson, you can't just put it at a high point. It's got to be somewhat of a line drive past, like, near the back, so that way you can speed ahead of the guy and late hands it like they do here. So it's not a lot of air on the ball. It's more of a line drive. And he's placing it past the receiver and past the DB. That way at the last second, Adams can get a little speed boost and put his hands up late. That way this guy is slightly behind him and unable to react. So right there. It's perfect placement. It's just really like, hey, get the ball around his head and it mixed with the fact that Devontae Adams is such an elite player at doing this at late hands. And what late hands means is like if you're covering me and you're not looking at the wide receiver whatsoever, like your back, their head is to the quarterback. And if I'm the receiver and you're watching me the whole time, I'm going like this for like 3 seconds. That triggers you as a DB. Like you're aware now of like, oh, he's probably trying to catch the ball. I'm more likely to get my hands in the way and make it messy. But if you're waiting until the very last second, not reacting, and then just quickly boop, catch the ball like Adams does here and he does very often, you don't give that DB time. You don't give him a trigger to know, hey, the ball is coming. So mix with those things together. That's how you get 3 touchdowns to Devontae Adams. Yeah. So do this every week. Don't just glaze. We got to point out some flaws. And this is the next drive. This is second quarter, 11-11. Rams are up 14-0. 1st and 10, back at their own 9-yard line. Stafford, we love you when you do this. But there's always like a creeping in the back of my head of like, what if he fucks this up? And we're talking about the no-look pass. So here, he's going to throw the pass to Jordan Whittington. He's going to try his no-look. And if you don't know why he does, it's not just for show. Like it is for intentionality. But he misses. He misfires. It could be maybe he thought Whittington was going to come across the field faster. Maybe just wasn't. Maybe just inaccurate pass. And I think it is that. Because he should know how fast Jordan Whittington is and is not. So the routes that get run here, what do we get? Motions, get your checks. Sees the blitz coming. All right. So you got somewhat of a cover 3 beater. Whittington's going to come across here on the dig. Intended receiver. Smith is going to be running a deeper post. Adams is running kind of a stop. The read here, if this is cover 3, hey, he's deep. Make sure he's not going to crash down on this. He should be deep. He should be deep. Yeah, cover 3. Deep, third, deep, third, deep, third. On him, and then you get a zone. The reason why Stafford will do the no-looks is so that way he can open up these middle-of-the-field throws. Because he's got to play with either a safety coming downfield or whoever's sitting in the middle here in that hook curl zone. So he's sitting in the way. He wants to get the Whittington. He's in the way. So what he does is he stares down this direction because this guy does not know who's behind him. But he does see, hey, there's someone this direction. So reading his shoulders and his eyes, he starts creeping this way. Even as he's throwing, his body is moving that way. That way, he opens up a smaller window right here for the throw. It's just in the dirt. Like the throw should have been 2 more yards to the right. And Stafford's mad. You can see he clapped. He's mad at himself. But that's why he does that. And he's usually very successful at it. There, don't know if it's rain or just, hey, he's not perfect. It's a complete misfire by Stafford. So here we are later in the second quarter. A little diversion from just Matthew Stafford, but just looking at 13 personnel again and the run game. Remember I touched on the duo concept not working as well in the red zone as McVay would like. It does work really well in the open field. I think a lot of that is the play action as well. Married with it, like McVay likes to say, marriage of the run and pass. It forces the linebackers to sit back more and not react as quickly, allowing time for the linemen to get up to their second level in man blocking. This one, I'm kind of confused, though. 13 personnel, 1, 2, 3 tight ends. I'm confused by Kyren's decision. It's a great run. Like, he breaks it outside and picks up a first down on 1st and 10. Here. Boom. Boom. Hey, good job. Great job making a play. A few things, though. First, somebody asked me online, how was KONATA Mumfield as a blocker? He's willing. They're willing to call him in. Like, he played a lot of snaps on 13 personnel as the lone wide receiver. Here he is in motion on the left side of your screen. Motioned in. His job is to come through here, and he's got to try to pick up the safety that comes here. Watch. But he misses. Whiffs. And that's going to happen with a young guy. He's going to fall into bad habits because he hasn't broken a lot of them yet. He hasn't had enough time playing. But all he really needs to do is just engage. Just step up, engage with him. Just grab onto his shoulder pads. Just stay in front of him and delay him. Because if he does, this play here, see how he whiffs? Who was the first person that makes contact with Kyren Williams? His guy. Slows him down a little bit. And in a situation where if that didn't happen and Kyren is meeting this guy upfield more, this is now potentially a 15-yard run, a 20-yard run. But instead it's only 10, and that sounds, stupid to say only 10. But all these things matter. This is what makes Puka great. This is what makes Whittington so good. Nate, if he's going to want to keep playing on the field, he can't make mistakes like this. It seems inconsequential, but these things matter when it's a 2-yard run. You're like, why didn't they get more yards? Because of stuff like that. The other thing I'm confused by is the blocking scheme works well here. Blocking scheme works well. It would be cool to see Shelton get more movement from the center. He seems to be overpowered at times. So here he is. There's not a lot of movement here, but you do get a double team here where Dotson is going to work up to this linebacker. Double team here. Avila is going to work up to this linebacker. Ceiling edge. There's a lane here that Kyren can fit through. In this lane, though, as the play develops, he decides to bounce it out. I missed it. Here's the lane. I think what he reads is, I think he's unconfident in Shelton holding this block. Remember we watched earlier where the defender shed Shelton to the side and was able to cover the block? I think he's anticipating the same thing. If Shelton is leaning this way, it looks like this guy's going to fill this lane right away. Even if, say, hey, in this lane, he could squeeze through here and stay out of the arm's reach. Kyren's eyes, running back's eyes, I'm assuming most of the time is at the second level already. He's spying this linebacker. Right now, this linebacker is not blocked. Dotson is not there yet. He sees him reacting, and so he bounces out. And luckily, he picks up 10. But the reason I picked this play out is to answer that KONATA question, but also to bring up the point that, yes, it's great the pass game is working good, and we're focusing on Stafford today, but I would like to see the next evolution of this running offense. Because, you're playing with 4 tight ends. You got 13 personnel. You got Kyren. You extended him. And we're yet to see one of those huge yardage games where it's like, dude, he's getting 15 yards a chunk, even in 13 personnel. Hasn't happened yet. So curious to see how that does develop as the season goes on. Okie dokie. Let's get moving along here so this video is not 2 hours long. What we're going to get here is a 16-yard completion to Devontae Adams. Adams is going to be running curl route here. Smith is going to be running inside release, stop in the middle. Whittington's motion across, and he's got a flat. This just turns into a really basic curl flat concept. If there's nobody underneath your hook zone, there's nobody underneath here, throw that. If they've completely all bailed out, like they kind of do too, you're going to have something in the flat route down here. Watch this. Again, out of play action. Zip. Right in there. Nothing spectacular about this, just a really easy catch and throw. But what we can highlight is what's been helping Stafford a lot this season is the pass protection, especially out of a play action look. They don't bring the house, they only bring 4. But this is a really good pass pro, man. And it looks closer than it actually is, but you saw from the end zone cam, shout out to Alaric Jackson. Like, Josh Hines-Allen is one of the premier pass rushers in the league. He tries to bend the outside, and Alaric is quick enough, gets out there, doesn't let him get a full head of steam. I love this tactic, by the way. So rather than just kick stepping and getting back here, giving Allen enough time and to get momentum and meeting him out here, Jackson lunges and meets him quicker. Watch this. Jumps forward. So now the fight is up here rather than 5 yards in the backfield where Hines-Allen is faster and has got momentum. It's here. Hey, even if he tries to swim outside, Jackson is quick enough to turn his hips and ride him past Stafford. Like, this is not a pressure whatsoever. Clean pocket. He's got like 2 yards on everybody around him. Very simple throw. To be able to like have Davante Adams in the middle of 3 defenders just wide open here. Very nice. 4 defenders. You got the corner out there too. Yeah, love it. Great protection. What we're seeing for Stafford this season. So what we're going to do the rest of this film, you guys know I don't like making extremely long, hour-plus long videos. It's hard not to do it here in film. What we're going to do is we're going to finish out the film with just the rest of Stafford's touchdowns, which is going to take us another 10 minutes because he's still got 3 more that we haven't covered yet. Right now it's 14 to 0. This is the 440 mark, 2nd and 1 from the 1. What do? Boom. Spectacular play action. Completely sold out. This is a one-man route concept. If you don't count Kyren Williams flooding out, I don't know if he's supposed to or if it's just him just trailing off because the play is almost done. Adams' route up top here, not even completely open. He's thrown open. That's so good. You have to be so good at football just to casually, just a little wrist flick. There you go from the end zone cam. Like, it's a sidearm throw too. They shout out to Shelton. I was talking shit on him. I think he pancakes this guy here, or he like dives on him. Watch this. That's kind of suck. Like, even though those are big linemen, big defensive linemen, having another 300-pounder just land on your back, it's just not fun. So great release here by Adams. Like, this is the whole reason they brought him in here, down here in the red zone, because you're going to get a lot more man. And who's one of the best man coverage beaters in the NFL the last 10 years, and that is Davante Adams. Quick release. He's very strong. Like, pause. But if you've ever seen Davante Adams, like, have you seen his post locker room photos? You see how shredded that dude is? He's like, what, my age, 34, and is like 0 body fat. It's annoying as fuck. It's like, these athletes piss me off how in shape they are. But yeah, Adams is super strong off the line here. Just pushes him. Gets held too. I don't know. Did they call a penalty on this? They did. They did call a penalty on that. That's hilarious. I forgot about that. So, slow it down. Yes, forgive me if I'm dragging this out, but it's just, even simple plays have a lot to digest. So, right off the line, we're watching Adams. Bitch, get out of here. Gets held. And then the one-handed grab. Where's the throw land? The throw is out high and in front. And that's what you want as a quarterback. Like, you want to put it where only my guy can get. It's either he's going to make a play on it, or it's just, hey, we're coming back 3rd and 1 because we do an incompletion. Throwing it lower, throwing it on a rope leads to bad things happening. 2 feet, shake the head. You can't cover him. The Jaguars just traded for Newsome. It doesn't really matter who this is. Like, damn. Strong as hell. Like, I know we talk about divas and we talk about speed and finesse, but the Rams wide receivers, you just got to be strong. You got to be strong to make some of these plays, man. This is exactly why they brought in Davante Adams. All right, on to the next of 5. This is touchdown pass 4 of 5 for Matthew Stafford. And this one might be the granddaddy of them all. For Rams fans, you finally get Terrence Ferguson involved. And just for offensive scheme enjoyers, like, you get to really watch McVay work. What I think happens here, I think, so Ferguson's going to run like this kind of shimmy corner post and get open here. Mumfield runs a drag, he gets open, and even Williams is going to run his play action and kind of get open on this wheel route. Like, coverage is bad all across the board by the Jaguars. Play action. And I think this is hell of a throw, by the way. I think this is somewhat of a play off of what they ran earlier. They had success on it. where you have the tight end on a play action, kind of run to this corner, and you got this guy coming into the flat. They also catch the Jaguars in just the wrong coverage. They are in man. You're getting a blitz. Number 2 does not cover. Jordan Lewis does not cover the rookie KONATA Mumfield. Good release here. Dude, I'm sorry. I didn't really pay attention to that release beforehand. That's an elite release. Like, look at this jab step. And dude, he is running 5 yards open, damn near. If he wanted to, I think like this DB is creeping, like he's underneath here, so he'd have to, and he's taking the right trajectory. He's running away from him. So if he threw it like up here, it'd be a reception most likely. But even Ferguson, man, like he didn't even have to run this up here. See how he breaks out and then breaks again. He probably just could have ran straight. Like from here, he's past him already. He could have just gone straight to the post. Doesn't matter. He did his job. Bought time for Stafford back here. And you can get an appreciation for timing on everything. So, as I just said, he probably could have just, run straight to the post. He would have been open, but me not being a coach, I'd already forgot about timing. Him doing that, he's probably at the back of the end zone, and it's a harder throw for Stafford. But timing is everything. Watch as Stafford, the second he's actually whipped around and planting his foot to throw, like here's getting ready, hips are turning, is right when Ferguson is making his plant foot in the ground to go upfield. It's timed up perfectly. So that way now, hey, I'm ready. He's coming out of his break. Here Stafford can now decide what kind of throw is this? How am I getting this to him based on what the separation and the coverage look like? Because now I'm here. There's no safety over the top. I'm just going to lead him. Easy. That's a layup throw for Matthew Stafford. Really cool to watch everything come together perfectly. The rookie athleticism that they drafted for, Stafford's pocket presence and accuracy, and then just the timing of a McVay scheme. This is why I go so hard on 2 things. Pause. Matthew Stafford, MVP front runner, and the Rams going to the Super Bowl because of an offense like this. Yeah, I'm biased, but the film's there. Prove me wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, do your own film. Cut myself off there. Do your own film and prove me wrong, other teams. All right, last Matthew Stafford one, and then class is dismissed. We'll get you guys out of here. Davante Adams, another jump ball, another touchdown, number 3 for him. Let's run it real quick, just so that way we can get into dissecting what I see here. Remember I said earlier where it's like, yeah, you want to back shoulder it or throw it ahead for the late hands. This goes against that, and they just pulled the Calvin Johnson rule of just go get the ball. I'm better than you. And it's a calculated risk because it's 1st and 1. They're at the goal line. Like, you can take this shot. Like, fuck it. Just throw it up to Davante's down there somewhere, and he comes up with the catch. Phenomenal one-on-one. And I think this play gives me more evidence of earlier's jump ball, earlier's goal line fade, when I said I couldn't tell if it was a designed run and they just had a silent check to fuck it, I'm going to throw it to you, and only Stafford and Adams know. I think it is a designed play. It's designed to make the 9 other players look like run, and Stafford is just going to throw it to Adams, one-on-one coverage beater. That way you take everyone out of the play completely. You don't worry about double coverage. You don't worry about somebody helping out. And you make it harder for future games to prep for this. Like, hey, they're in this. They still might throw a goal line fade, and they were so successful. Do we double Davante? Do we stack the box? Like, is it a pass? Like, it gives more shit for defenses to prep for. What gives it away for me is Higbee. After he sells his block and gets about right here, he immediately looks to Adams. Like, he can't see the ball. He's here, head down, looks to Adams right away because he knows, like, hey, let me go see what our play result is or what the design throw was. And what confuses me, and I hope this doesn't get him in trouble later, Xavier Smith blocking in the end zone. because it is a design run. He does enough to not really, obviously trigger a penalty, but you got to be careful with that. What's even more impressive though, and this is, I'm happy we're ending on this one. Stafford, man. I know this video is about him, but like you can't say enough. Watch when he's releasing this ball. Not only do you got to lay it up in the presence of this guy shooting the gap and being in Stafford's face, turning this into like a well-defended fadeaway shot from like a basketball player. Look, he penetrates here. He's in Stafford's grill. He makes contact with Stafford's hand as he's releasing this ball. Stafford he's throwing off his back foot here. Just get it up for Devontae. And Devontae is good enough to just get up there and make the play. Like, I don't think this is where Stafford wanted to place it whatsoever. I think this is more Devontae than anything, but the ability to turn what could be a fucking nightmare of a play. Like, imagine this being a sack and now it's 2nd and 5. But instead, lay it up. Like, this right here is straight up turnaround J fade away. Well defended. It's like, how did that guy get the shot off over a 7-foot defender? That's how. Phenomenal all around. No notes. Tay, like the long look up knowing he's fucking Batman. Dude. One more time to end on. Money. That's all I got for you guys, man. We do this every single week. If you made it to the end of the video, since we're getting close to Halloween, I don't know, drop something Halloween related in the comments. A spooky emoji, a pumpkin, a candy bar, something at all. And you get to tell me, like, if you made it to the end of this video, I need your feedback since, hey, you've seen the length. Is this length good? Should I narrow this down to a half hour in just a select few plays? Do you want it longer, or is like around an hour good enough because you're throwing it on in the background? I want your feedback, especially from you that's making it to the end of the video. And give me suggestions. What should the next one be? Since we got the bye week, we're not going to have anything to go over next week. So it's viewer's choice. Whatever you want, we're going to go over next week. Drop it in the comments below. And as always, I love you guys. Thank you. See you next week.